be out there?
It's good. It's nice and easy when you got a guy like this that's going to go and kind of make your job easy. Just a great team win. Just got to keep it rolling and focus on next week.
What did that feel like, your first pass and your first moments on the field after such a long time away?
It was special, but all that focus kind of goes out of the way once I say set, go, and just really get the game going, and, yeah, just focused on winning.
You ran 4 times. Were you supposed to?
It's football. You gotta do stuff, yeah.
Brant, you get those 3 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know why they weren't guarding you, but you get them. How does it feel to just be back, take hits, get in there, and do what you did?
Yeah, it feels good, but I've been doing this preparing for 2 years, and just feels good to know I can still do it, and we still got a lot of games to go, and just can't wait for next week.
Brant, is there butterflies at all, especially when you're that wide open on that first one?
I mean, we've been practicing just for those type of catches. Just got to make sure to catch it, because it's so wide open. But no, it's just football. At the end of the day, we practice so much, and just pitch and catch.
Brant, that third one, I mean, you broke like 4 tackles to get in there.
I saw the end zone. I'm a little slippery, so it feels good, and they just couldn't tackle, I guess.
It's a grown man.
You'd said all offseason you couldn't wait to get hit, and you did take 3 or 4 hits on that one play. What did it feel like to kind of get you back into game mode?
Yeah, I wouldn't say those were really hits. I got hit a couple times where I got bent back and felt kind of crazy, but those were really got me awake, and those I didn't really feel those hits at all. They didn't really tackle me, so other than that, it feels good.
How happy were you for Caleb to get that touchdown?
Feels good. He should have had 2, but no, it was good for him to get that touchdown, and I'm happy for him and can't wait for more.
Dijon, you get a touchdown, obviously the first score of the season. I mean, what did it feel like just to be out there tonight?
It felt excellent. That was my first collegiate touchdown, and not only that, it was my first touchdown in the Reds. So it was super turnt. That was like the biggest moment of my life almost. I was so, but yeah, it felt really nice to score today, and that being my first of my career, and it was excellent.
What was it like, obviously, just kind of walking out there? It's been 2 years for you, Brant, but walk me through that moment and how did you sort of embraced it, ultimately leading into the snap?
Yeah, you just look out to the stands and get a second to just take it in and breathe, and usually kind of that feeling kind of goes out of the way once the coin toss really happens, and then you're just focused on winning the game.
Van, what's the sideline like when the defense pitches a shutout? What's it like on your side of the ball?
When Scally's happy, everyone else is happy. So, I mean, that's all we could ask for. So it was great.
Dan, you looked healthy out there. How did it feel? Just you got 2 sacks. I mean, what was it like for you?
I felt healthy. It felt great. Feel very grateful now since I had to play last year not healthy. How it feels to play healthy, it's just a blessing. So it was great to be out there and just to really see how good I can do when I'm at my full potential.
Dijon, could you believe how open you were on both of those? Is there extra pressure when you're that open?
I would say you get a little bit more nerves when you're wide open. You feel like it's harder to catch the ball, but it's everything that we go in with practice. We run the plays over and over, so it's just practice how you play.
Cam, I'm sure you weren't aware of it in the moment, but right before Alex Smith went into the ring of honor, you asked him on the career touchdowns list. Knowing that, seeing him go up in the ring of honor, I'm sure getting to know him a little bit. What's that feel?
It's kind of a surreal moment. Guy I have just a tremendous amount of respect for. Hope I can have half the career he has had, and just honored to be in that situation.
And what was your impression of Isaac's performance? Obviously, made a few mistakes there, but bounced back with a touchdown.
I think he got put in a bad situation his first few snaps. When you go in there and you're in that 2-minute situation, I think it's hard when you just get thrown into that, and that's kind of not the ideal way to start, but I think he did a good job responding and coming back. Definitely needs to clean some things up, but we all do pretty much.
Do you help coach him up on the sideline after something like that, or what's that process like?
Yeah, we talk. We always talk. We're always trying to figure out things and stuff that we can do that can apply to the game and just make us that much better. But yeah, it's hard in those type of situations at the end of the half.
Brant, as well as you guys played on both sides of the ball, the competition gets a lot tougher next week. What can you take from this game into the Baylor
we definitely have room for improvement, but Baylor's coming here too, which is a lot better, and we just got to get to work, and we have a full weekend to recover also, and it's going to feel good getting back on Monday and getting to work.
Brant and Cam, does it feel like 2 years, you guys?
Yeah.
Time not
Yeah, it does, but it feels good. And I was a little nervous going out there at first, but after the first snap, it felt good, and I'm just glad to be back.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a long time, but happy to be back.
Brant, you just talked about how you guys have a few extra days to prepare for your next game. What do these weeks look like when you have those extra days and that extra time to kind of get some rest and get prepared for the next one?
It's going to be good to have these next 2 days off, honestly, just get your body right, but especially going to a game like Baylor. But yeah, we have a lot of things that we can work on, and having these 2 days, get our body right, and going to Monday, which is an extra day. And I don't know if they play this weekend, but it'll be nice to get a game in to see how they play, and we can prepare for them that way.
Brant, you're the only tight end in Big 12 history with 3 touchdowns and a half. I don't know if you know that, but how does that make you feel?
What about the oldest? Honestly, I don't really care, but I just want to win games, and whatever it takes, score touchdowns or it doesn't matter. I just want to win.
Dijon,
Final question.
you've obviously, Andy talked a little bit about you during fall camp, about your emergence. What went right for you during this fall camp? And having the performance you did tonight, what do you feel like your role will be in the offense moving forward?
Shit. Excuse my language, I'm sorry. Just anywhere that they need me, anywhere that they could use me. I feel like I have a special skill set, so wherever I'm useful, they could put me at, whether it's receiver, whether it's running back, flexed out, not motion. I just want to be useful to the team and just want to see us win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys. Thanks, guys.
Okay, good start to the season. It was good to see, obviously good to see Cam and Brant Kuithe back out there doing their thing. What they hooked up 3 times for touchdown passes. Great effort by Dijon Stanley tonight. I think he had over 200 all-purpose yards or somewhere in that neighborhood. Defense, lights out, shutout. So did what we were supposed to do. I thought Southern Utah was a hard-playing team. They played hard, and we just had some talented guys out there making plays. But it's good to get that one under our belt. Obviously, degree of difficulty increases this week. Baylor coming to town, or next week, I should say. Non-conference game, but doesn't matter. Every game is critical in college football. So we got to be ready to be at our best next week. We'll come in tomorrow and watch this film and make corrections and give our players the weekend off and come back Monday ready to roll and get ready for the Baylor Bears. So questions?
Kyle, how did you feel about Cam's runs?
It was good to see him moving quick and being able to cut and do his thing, but a little too much contact tonight, and we'll try to reinforce that more if we possibly can. But he's so competitive, and that's just his nature. But a little more contact than we would have liked. How about that?
Did you notice any rust off him, or is this the Cam of old?
I think it's the Cam of old. I mean, at least tonight he was sharp. 67%. What was it? 10 of 15, 10 of 14. So 70% completion percentage somewhere in there, close to it. A bunch of touchdowns, five touchdown passes, and didn't miss many throws. There's a couple he missed, but not many.
In those situations that Cam got hit out, I know you said you've talked a lot about, you've had the numerous conversations of just avoiding those hits.
Mm-hmm.
Are those situations where you want him to slide, or, I mean, how would you, as a coach, want him to approach that?
Yeah, sliding's a good idea. Step out of bounds if if it's in the vicinity. Just try to avoid those direct shots. I mean, you don't want to take those shots, and we'll watch the film. And there was probably 2 or 3 times where he could have done a little better job of getting out of harm's way.
You talked about it, Dijon package, and then it really showed forth today. What did you see from him?
Well, great stuff. I mean, you saw him on that little rail route out of the backfield a couple times, big plays. Made some nice runs, too. Got to the edge 2 or 3 times, and he's an explosive guy. He's not the biggest kid, 185 pounds, but he's quick, he's fast, he's tough, and he's very smooth. I mean, he's so athletic.
What do you think of Elijah Davis's performance coming in for Kenan Johnson there?
Yeah, I thought he held down the fort, did a nice job. Came off coverage once. Fortunately, it was a holding call, so it didn't end up hurting us. That was him that had an interception, was it not? Yeah, had an interception. So I thought he did a good job, and we're going to have to take a hard look at what our best configuration is for next week. I thought Smith Snowden played really well on defense. He's a really good football player. The front played well, but Scooby's what we call him. Scooby Davis is a guy that's been in the program. I think it's his 3rd year, and he's got a lot of ability. Just needs to continue to get more repetitions.
How was Kenan Johnson and Kamahi?
We'll defer till tomorrow, but it doesn't look good for either of them. But we'll see what the test results are when they get those scans tomorrow.
If that's a long-term injury, how are you going to approach the DB room with already such limited depth?
Yeah, well, if it is in fact severe and long-term, Teo Johnson would be the first answer. Pulling him back from safety back to the corner position. He's got experience there. He can do it. We didn't want to have to do that. We'll see. But if we have to do it, that's one answer right there.
What was your impression of Isaac Wilson's performance, obviously?
Isaac, yeah, it was a tough spot he got put in the first half, that 38 seconds and, trying to get us down the field. Maybe it was a little bit unfair to put him in that spot, but better safe than sorry. Didn't want, Cam had played enough, didn't want any fluke accident to happen to Cam at that point, so I thought it was time to get Cam out of the game, and I thought Isaac came back in the second half, did some much better things. He'll learn from it. He'll grow. He's got all the tools. He's got a strong arm. He's very mobile, as you saw. He made some nice runs for us, but it's a process, and he was in high school just last year, so we still think after we'd be crazy not to think that he's got a big upside because he does. So we'll see.
Competition competition obviously steps up quite a bit next week. Is the biggest thing you gain from a game like this is just confidence to kind of get into a rhythm, because it's going to be different players you're going against?
Yeah, sure. I think well, for Cam and Brant, it was a confidence thing. Just get back in the flow and get back on the playing field and into live action. Everybody else will watch the film. Like I said, there's plenty to correct, but I don't want to call it a tune-up game, but it was a good game to get the season started off with, and as I mentioned, well, I told the team afterwards that it'll be a tough challenge this week. Baylor's going to come in here. They got good players. They're physical. They played us right down to the wire last year. We escaped with a victory, but they're a good football team.
When I asked you on Monday what you wanted to see as a success, do you feel like you accomplished that by and large?
For the most part, we still had a few penalties that were, I don't want sloppy, I guess, maybe too strong a word, but penalties that could have been avoided. We weren't penalized excessively, I don't think, but just a few penalties that would like to see cleaned up. But we took care of the football for the most part. We did put it on the ground twice with the running backs. We ended up recovering those balls, but I don't think we had any. Well, Caleb Lohner, that might be a drop. I don't know if the guy stripped it out of his hands or if he dropped it, but then he came back and had a nice touchdown catch. But overall, I'd say it was a clean game for the most part.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Obviously, you're approaching this running back group by committee. And Dijon Stanley obviously had a stellar game tonight. How do you see his role increasing in any avenue? And to kind of piggyback off of that, what was your impression of the running back room tonight?
Well, with Dijon, he made the most of his reps. He had a package of 8 or 9 plays, and he executed those plays to a T. I mean, he did it exactly right, ran the correct routes, ran the football like he was supposed to. And so I would say, based on what we saw tonight, we'll probably expand that package a little bit, just keep feeding him a little bit more and a little bit more. Running back room as a whole, thought Mekhi Bernard gave us some quality runs in there. Jalen Glover had a nice run or two. Mike Mitchell, I think you saw he's got some capability of being that big back that he's the closest thing to that big back that we have right now. Hunter Andrews, just a freshman, a true freshman, had a nice run and the ball popped out though. But I think exactly what we anticipated going into the game, it would be by committee. We wouldn't really have an RB1, and right now we're in the same boat, which is not a bad thing, but that's the same boat we're in right now.
Is a shutout any sweeter than any other win, than a regular win, I guess? And what stood out about the defense?
It's always nice to shut someone out. I mean, that's the ultimate goal for a defense. I think that we made some plays over there. We had one or two interceptions. One interception, but 2 or 3 sacks, maybe 4 sacks. So we made some plays. We really controlled the game with our defense, and really never. They got a couple runs out on us, but never really gave up any sustained drive, and of course didn't give up a score. So very positive.
The entire team seemed to enjoy Caleb Lohner's touchdown.
Yeah.
They all went nuts. I mean, that's just an incredible story.
It is. I asked him right after what he enjoyed more, a slam dunk or catching a touchdown. He said catching a touchdown pass. So he's all in. And we kind of like Dijon, he had about an 8 or 9 package play selection tonight, and I thought he did a good job, and he's going to help us this year. He will continue to help us. Okay, thanks, guys.